my kitchen. E la prima cosa che davvero fare è prendere il faddale. The first thing that we need to do is put on the faddale. And I have a beautiful faddale. It's got my picture and it's got established. When it was established, thank you to my beautiful friend that bought this for me. Look how beautiful that is. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I have an amazing, delicious meal. And today we are celebrating. Today, yesterday we won twice in a row. Now back to back. Thanks to the Bolts, we have won. And we're excited about that, especially after we just had a hurricane that came and blew a lot of wind. Anyways, what I have here is a cast iron skillet. I have it heating up. What I have here is I have a pound of boneless, skinless chicken breast. And what I have here is I'm going to walk you step by step in this delicious chicken with basil and anchovy butter and this wonderful Shishito peppers. So what I have here is I have a 1/4 teaspoon of salt, a 1/4 teaspoon of ground pepper, and a 1/4 teaspoon of granulated powder. I also have here a tablespoon of olive oil that I'm just going to add right into my pan because I want my pan to be hot. Because I want to do is I kind of want to sear these guys. So I'm going to turn up my cast iron skillet to a medium high. And in the meantime, while that's getting to where it needs to go, I'm going to take my little fingers, 3 little fingers, and I'm just going, or whatever finger you want, and mix this up. If not, if you don't want to get dirty, you're going to get dirty anyways, because we're going to have to mix it all up. Because what we want to do is we want to get these little guys, okay? We want to season our chicken, and we're going to do step by step. Get yourself a bowl, because we're going to be taking out the chicken and put it in here, and then wait till I show you what we are going to do. And then get yourself some foil, because we're going to tent this to keep it warm. Okay, so far so good. All right, so now I'm going to turn these my little guys over, just like so. And what I've done, guys, is I took my boneless thighs, and I made slits. You see the slits? So it makes for faster, even, easy cooking. Yes, this is a trick that I learned from one of my friends. He's a chef. I'm not a chef, I'm a cook. And we swap recipes, and he likes my recipes. All right, so then now what we want to continue now is we're going to leave some of the salt and pepper in here. It's only a 1/4 of each, and that's what we're going to be utilizing. And then I'm just going to take another little pinch. See, it doesn't take a lot of salt. Remember, salt retains water. Okay, always remember that. Salt retains water. All right, so now my pan is smoking, and I just want to bring my chicken in there with these bits and pieces. And I'm just going to get them in. Once I put it in, I am not going to touch it. And they all should fit. You know, cast iron skillets, they come in many different sizes. And for my husband and I, we don't really need a large size. And this is going to play on our lunch. This could be served for lunch. This could be served for dinner. And we are going to have this dish. Actually, we're going to have some of this for lunch today because we're both very busy. Because besides doing this cooking shows, I'm also an ordained minister. And I get to marry babies. And I get to marry couples. I mean, not marry babies. I get to, well, to me they're babies. But I get to marry couples, and then when they have their babies, baptize their babies. And the reason I'm wearing blue and white is for our team. Go Bulls! All right, I'm done with this. Finito, finito, finito. Easy, super transaction. Get yourself one of these guys, you know, because we're going to be turning them over. And again, what we want to do is a very good sear. So I'm going to bring you now to our butter. This delicious, wonderful anchovy butter. You know, I grew up eating anchovies. And anchovies are so wonderful for you. They are loaded with omega-3 fatty acids. And it lowers the risk of strokes and it's loaded with vitamins and minerals, and you should really try it out. So what I have here is I have diced, and I mean, you can mince it. I kind of like to dice it because I want to taste, but if you don't like anchovies that taste, make sure that you mince it, and that's what I have. I have 2 in here, and I also have 1.5 tablespoons of butter that are going to go right in here because we're going to make this anchovy sauce. And wait till I show you what we are going to do with this anchovy sauce. This is a very easy, wonderful thing. And then what I want to do now is for this to anchovy is, yes, we are going to go a little bit Italian, and I am going to chop about a tablespoon of basil. So what I want to do is I have this beautiful basil right here, but I also want to save some of my leaves because, you know, I like it to make things pretty for me. You know what I mean? Hey! We like to make things pretty. And anyways, this dish is a very easy summer dish. Wonderful. Now my little guys are, yes, they got their, I'm waiting for them to turn. Yes, once they start turning, meaning, you know, they start browning, because, you know, we want the chicken to cook. Because this little guy is not coming back in here. So we want the chicken to really, really, really get nice and browned on each side, guys. And don't worry about the bits and pieces. You know, the little brown marks in here, because this is what's going to give even more flavor when we cook our shishito peppers. Oh, yes, yes, yes. All right, so now what I do, well, let me show you what I do. So I'm going to move this because what I have here, I have a tablespoon of olive oil that I'm also going to add in here once we remove the chicken to cook our shishito peppers. All right, so far so good, and then we have some of that salt left. You know, it really goes a long ways. You don't have to use a lot of salt. Yes, yes, please, please, because it really, you know, for those people that are sensitive, it can really, you know, you can really retain a lot of water. So then what I've done is I put all of my parsley leaves on top of each other, and I'm just going to roll them. Okay, I'm going to roll them. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to do them in chiffonade, okay? I'm going to come into the chiffonade. Be very careful. Don't cut your fingers. Boy, I've done a lot of that. Remember, 1.5 tablespoons of butter and 2 minced anchovies. And then what we want to do is we want to really chop this basil. And I like to chiffonade. Chiffonade means slice. And that's, again, that's a chef term. For a cook, you know, I don't know. I mean, I just call it chiffonade. It's just such a lovely name. And we are really happy. I mean, you know, our team, you know, and from all the people from all over the world, you know, that have their own team, you know how passionate you are about your team. And we have a lot of passion here in the Tampa Bay area. Yes, yes, yes. All right, so as you can see, I'm not really measuring, but if you go to measure, you would use 1.5 tablespoons of the basil. But I am looking at it, if I were to measure this, it's probably that much. So what I want to do is I want to bring my butter right in here like so, and then get yourself a little fork, just a tiny little fork like so, eh? And then what we are going to do is we're going to take this wonderful thing and we are going to mix this butter. We're going to mix this butter with this wonderful basil and anchovies. Oh, and the smell, it smells fishy. Actually, Reggie just came out because he can smell it. And you know, and I grew up eating anchovies, and I love anchovies. You know, my husband and I, we spend a lot of time, you know, in Spain, and they love their anchovies there too. And you can get some beautiful anchovies, not the ones that are so thin, but they're wonderful, and you can eat the whole thing. And they're so, I'm telling you, they're just, like I said, full of antioxidants and wonderful omega-3 fatty acids. Now I'm going to turn my chicken over again. They are almost done, guys. Almost done. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, it's looking good. And when you slice them the way that I did, you know, horizontal, you know, when I told you to just cut them, it just makes everything cook faster, especially for you wonderful mamas that are working from home or not from home. You can get yourself, you know, ready for this dish. It's not hard at all. It's simple and easy. Now what I'm going to do when my chicken is hanging out there, I am going to go get one thing. I'll be right back. And what I'm doing is I am getting a cup, and I'm going to fill this with water, and I'm going to put it in the microwave oven, so when I'm done, that is how we clean the cast iron skillet. Alright, so that's what I'm going to do now. I know you guys cannot see me, I'm in the sink. I'm going to get this in my microwave oven like so. Let me move this out of the way. I always like to have one of these things, you know, so it doesn't splatter depending on what you have in there. So I'm just going to put that in 2 minutes. Forget about that, that's done. I'm going to get now this one particular bowl because my chicken is almost finished. Oh yes, baby, baby, baby. And they are looking marvelous, darling, marvelous. Oh yeah. Woo. And what I do when I get my thighs, I tell, you know, depending if I buy them myself, I will take all the fat out. I don't like the fat. I know. I never did like fat. I really never did. My grandfather, God bless his soul, when he would make steaks, and if it had fat, I will not even touch it. So he would always cut out the fat. It's amazing what we grandparents do for our grandchildren, right? Alright, so now my chicken is finished. Very simple transaction. And then I'm going to show you how we are going to take care of these wonderful things and how we are going to plate this. Now I got my other oil in there. I want to make sure that I get my oil all in there because my shishito peppers are about to come in here and burst just the way that I would want them. And then while that's doing that, we are going to, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my one of these guys, and I'm going to be scraping. I want those scrapes because I want that to be part as my shishito peppers cook in there. There it is, Reggie. Hey, Reggie. You can just say hello. Come over here. People cannot see your ears from there. He is smelling the food. And he knows not to come in between me and the food. And now we put our shishito peppers right in here. And they're going to start popping. I love that sound. It's the sound of music. And now, because we have the rest of the, remember the granulated garlic, the pepper and the salt. This is how much you can see how much you stretch it out. So what I want to do is I want to get my shishito peppers for them all to have their own space in here so they can start popping like they're doing it. Oh, and as soon as they go on, it is amazing the smell of it. So now I'm going to take and I'm just going to go right over. Look how much left we have, guys. Not too much salt. But you know what? It tastes good. That's what it is. It tastes good. All right, so I had a taste. This is so delicious. So while that is hanging out there, remember we still have a beautiful butter right here. This beautiful butter. Remember that we did. And now we are going to have our chicken, and I'm going to put my chicken. And I'm just going to kind of put it on like that. It doesn't have to go anywhere. You know, you can skip the bowl, you know, you can really skip the bowl. But I like things to look pretty. So kind of, you know, arrange it like so. Alright, so then now that I have this, because my shishito peppers is doing its thing, I'm going to show you a trick. Yes. This is something that, again, one of my friends is a chef. You know, he told me that it would be a good idea for me to implement this because I was telling him about the dish that I was making. Because when I'm not on the air, I am practicing and coming up with all these imaginations. So I have one lemon, beautiful one lemon, and what I want to do to my lemon is I want to slice it. I want to slice it like a tomato, you know, like a tomato. Not too thick, not too thin, and that's what I want to do. because this is going to be so delicious. That's going to go so well with this dish. Now the ends, okay, the ends, I'm going to save the ends, because what I can do with the ends, I can take all the white out, which I'm going to do right after I get off the show, and then I put them in between paper towels, and I put it in somewhere, and I let it dry, because then I can ground that orange or that citrus, and I can use that for other things that I'm using in cooking. And that's why I don't like throwing jars. Yes, I am a jar junkie. I love jars. I never throw anything in jars. I mean, I never throw anything. I always put everything in jars because my grandfather was like that. You know, it's amazing how much our grandparents influence us. And you know, and I was so influenced by my grandparents. I'm going to get my water out now because this is almost a finished deal. I got my water nice and hot, ready to rock and roll. Right there. I am going to I'm going to turn this up a little higher. My shishito peppers are doing their thing. I am going to move my shishito peppers aside now. Well, maybe not quite yet. Alright, so what we are going to do to this lemon, to the lemons, just the little lemons, just like that. Remember, don't throw the ends, and it's very easy. Let me show you how to do this. I'm going to give myself a little paring knife. Get yourself a little paring knife. Be very careful, okay? And then what you want to do is you want to get in here with the white. Be careful and kind of go around until you start removing the white of the lemon. And this, guys, when it, you know, and what I would do, I would slice them so they will be easier for me when I put it in my food processor or a spice grinder, and it will make the lemon powder. And that's how I keep my lemon powder. Or if I want to, I can add this to my water, and it gives our water our electrolytes. Yes. All right, so here we are. Oh, one pepper just went down. There went Reggie. He got the pepper. This guy eats everything, I'm telling you. All right. Boy, these peppers are really popping out here. They just don't want to be here anymore. They're like, okay, I'm done. All right, so then now, because the peppers are almost done, I want to take this beautiful butter. We're still not done. I'm going to take my lemons now, and I am going to put them on my... Yes, on my cast iron skillet. Did you like that pepper, Reggie? Huh? Is it? Oh, yep, it's gone. Boy, this dog eats everything. And then I'm going to put that in there as well. Put that in there. There we are. Here we go. All right. All right, so then now what I want to do is I want to come over here. I'm still working on the peppers, and I want to bring my peppers. Let me grab one of these, one of my tongs. Here we are. And then I'm just going to get my peppers out because my shishito peppers are done. And I'm just going to kind of layer them around in here because this is part of our beautiful dinner. Oh, and they're nice and, oh, I just love shishito peppers. I just absolutely love them. You know, I grew up always eating peppers and onions, and, you know, this is how I grew up. And I like to bring you some of the Mediterranean, or whatever it's called. You know, they call it the Mediterranean, you know, the Mediterranean. Everything is about the Mediterranean diet. But it's so healthy. And let me tell you something about shishito peppers. Did you know that they are loaded with vitamin C? And antioxidants, yes they are. So now I am going to move my lemon, because what I'm doing is I am browning my beautiful lemons. So yes, they are looking so beautiful, my lemons. I'm going to bring my shishito peppers in here like so. And then what I want to do now is I'm going to take this beautiful butter, and I'm just going to put it over my chicken. Yes, over the chicken. Every piece of chicken should have some of this butter, and this butter is starting to melt. Yes, it's starting to melt. Oh man, I cannot wait till I eat this because I love anchovies. It's wonderful and delicious for us. Oh yes, And remember, we're having antioxidants, we're having vitamins, we are having wonderful things. And when we keep I always talk about how if we keep our body in alkaline, our bodies don't get sick. And I'm going to continue not to take my wonderful, oh yes, look at these. Oh yes, my orange, my lemon, oh look at this. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. They look so beautiful. And it's such a pretty dish. And who is not going to want to come over and have this? I tell you what, I'm so glad that I have this meal. I'm so grateful for you that you're joining me. And now, you know, there's something to be said about grilling lemon. Let me move this out of the way because, you know, we got way too much going on over here. Let's put that down. Oh, you like that pepper, huh? He's looking for more pepper. This dog, I'm telling you, he's an Italian dog, but he was born here in America. But he likes it. Now I'm going to shut this off. Now I'm going to get my other lemon. And then what I want to do over here is that I have some basil, you know, because we have basil over here. So you may want to add a little bit of basil leaves here and there. I'll show you how it's going to play out. I'll show you what it's going to look like. And then are you ready? Are you ready to look at your chicken with basil, anchovy, butter, and peppers? Look at this deliciousness. Look at this wonderfulness. This is chicken with basil and anchovy, butter, and peppers. Look at this beautiful lemons. I want to thank my beautiful sponsors, Cola Harris with FARMASI. I want to thank my beautiful Solangel with my beautiful nails. Oh my goodness, thanks to her I have nails. I want to thank Stephen Bailey with Billy Fishing and Charters. If you come to Florida, he's the person you want to hire. And I also want to thank Dario Rodriguez with Life and Food Superstores. And I want to thank you for joining me.